Swinging a high drive into center field. Hits at the wall. It is gone! Casas does it again. It's gone! It's into the bullpen! This game is tied! This game is tied!
He swings and rips one to center field. It's high, it's deep, it's back, it's gone! Sale winds, he fires. Swing and a miss, strike three, it's over! The Red Sox have won the World Championship!
What's up? Welcome back to Play Tessie. It is episode 217. This is the official Red Sox podcast of WEEI. Remember, before we get going, hit that subscribe button wherever you get your podcasts. Hit rate 5 stars. Find us on the WEEI YouTube channel where you should definitely subscribe, and also find the Play Tessie playlist there, which has all of our episodes in video form. You should also follow us on all of the social accounts, Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. The @ is Play Tessie. And we're joined by a very special guest, DAngelo Ortiz. Yeah, that's right. DAngelo Ortiz, the son of Big Papi, but DAngelo Ortiz forming a big league or a baseball career of his own. He's in the Red Sox system, drafted by the team last year. We asked him about that and talked about that with him in the interview. It was very cool to talk about some of that stuff with him. But should we just kind of get right into this thing, man? Like, yeah,
go for it.
Let's go for it. Here's our interview with DAngelo Ortiz. All right, we're here with DAngelo Ortiz. First question I have for you, man. How much has your life changed in the last, let's say, year?
Yeah, I would say my life has, ever since July, obviously, it's just been like everything I've wanted, like to focus on baseball, to not have to worry about anything outside of my craft and like what I love doing, right? Like baseball's been something that I've been around in my whole life. And I just feel like now is what I've been waiting for. Like for me to show up to the field every single day from my career. And, I love showing up to the field with my dad. But obviously it wasn't the same. It wasn't the same process. And I'm loving every minute of it. So everything's a blessing right now, and I'm just going with the flow.
So we all know about your dad and his game, but tell us about your game. You're in the spotlight now. What makes you different and what makes you special as a baseball player?
I'm obviously, the difference in me and my father is, I play defense. I take pride in playing defense. I'm a third baseman. I also play second. I can play, right field, left field, but I'm mainly an infielder. I try to be versatile, right? Like I try to be, one of these guys that just can make an impact on different parts of the field. And then, obviously, my favorite part of the game is obviously hitting. And I think that right now where I'm at, developing-wise, is just trying to get better every single day in terms of, catching the ball out in front and getting it in the air. I've always been a good contact hitter, hitting the ball backside a lot. And, now it's time for me to take that next step in terms of when you want to do damage, And, you look at the higher level, everybody's doing damage, and that's what you want to do. So I think that's the next step for me, just getting more consistent with it, not just having one swing out there and the next 3 swings back here, kind of getting comfortable out there, and I feel like that's the next step.
And obviously, making it to the majors or getting signed by a major league team, like that's a humongous deal in and of itself. How much does it mean for you for it to be Boston, to be
1,000%.
Here where you came with your dad growing up?
1,000%. I feel like my goal has always been to be a baseball player. And, my journey has been a little bit different because I've had friends who, when they're coming up with me through the draft process and everything, obviously they don't care, where they go. They want their situation to be, handled. And whatever they're looking for, they're looking for. Me personally, I wanted to be a Boston Red Sox, obviously, since I was a kid. I think that when you're in the draft process and it becomes more like, okay, like I really want to be a baseball player and I really want to get drafted, to like have a specific team can be kind of greedy, but I feel like everything went very smoothly and everything went the way I wanted it to go because now I'm here.
During the process, did you have any inkling that it was going to be the Red Sox, or was it all a mystery to you and just on draft night you got the call and it?
No, it was between Boston and like 2 other teams, and I wanted to be a Red Sox. I knew that it's a whole process because everybody's conversation and their process with the team themselves goes differently. I think that for me, what it was honestly, I never said this, but I think that when it came down to the moment, it was really like, oh, what's going to happen? Like, it could be 50-50. But it's because I'm not behind the scenes. Right. I don't know what's going on behind the scenes. I don't know who's talking about what. So I think when the moment happened, it was kind of like, oh, my gosh, I don't know what's going to happen. And then the moments leading up to it, in my mind, I was like, okay, I think Boston's going to be the team. I think Boston's going to be the team. And then when it gets to the round it's going to happen or when they tell you it's going to happen, you feel like, and I feel like the Savannah Bananas could have picked my name right there. I don't know what I was waiting for, but it just that's what it comes down to. And then you you get a call, and they tell you like a team can tell you like, yo, we're looking at you, here, these rounds, and then the round come up, and you might not get picked by that team in that round, but another team could pick you or anything. So I was just waiting. I got a call a few rounds earlier, but then when my name just popped up on the screen, so I was looking at the screen, and
So wait, you saw it on the screen before you got a call?
Oh, man.
Wow,
It's gotta be-
That's crazy.
What was your reaction
nerve-wracking.
no, it
Go
was ridiculous.
nuts?
It was ridiculous. My agent had called me a few rounds earlier, because he was just telling me like, okay, I think this is the round. They're gonna give you a call. Be ready for the call. So in my mind, listen to this. In my mind, I'm like, oh my gosh. So if I don't get a call before the pick for that round comes up, I'm not getting picked.
Yeah, cool.
So the 16th pick, 7, whatever these picks are coming up, and it's the teams right before Boston, and they don't call me, and I'm like, this is bad. I'm cooked. Yeah, I'm I'm washed. And then my name popped up, and I'm telling you like this, my phone went from my name popping up to just like, I never got so many calls in my life. Like, I never got so many calls in my life because in my life when my dad has done something like Hall of Fame, for example, a lot of people want to congratulate him through me because they can't reach him. But even for stuff like that, like, some people have feel and they're like, I'm not gonna congratulate DAngelo. He didn't get one at bat in the big leagues. So which that's understanding. So for this, it was like one of the first things in my life. I would say that, like, so many people around me saw my process to get here and like how much of a journey it was. Like, it's everyone's journey is different. It's not easy for anybody. And then in the same way that it's not easy for anybody, I think that you have to also look at it and be like, you can't take someone's situation and just in your head assume that, oh, their route was this or their route was that, because there's a lot of guys in that locker room that you'd be surprised from where they came to where they are now, and how big of jumps that they've made. So I think that really now it's just my turn to make that jump, and the first few months was very like, wow, like it happened, I'm here. But now it's time to work.
Does it feel like the spotlight has kind of flipped to you in the family?
Well, I would say that's difficult because my dad, he liked that attention.
What? No way. No way.
My dad liked that attention. He liked that attention. I don't know.
We're all cool with it.
No, I know. So I would say I got a few more missiles to hit before it's all on me. But I think that the way it's going right now is perfectly fine. I think that whether people want to look at him or look at me, I think that minor league baseball, and when you get an opportunity, like I got an opportunity, is really about like coming into yourself and learning the type of player you are. Whether people want to look at me like this or like that or look at my dad, I don't have any problem with any of that. I just think that it's up to me to just focus and get better every single day, because when my dad was my age, he had to focus and get better every single day so that people could know his name now. But, you got to be realistic. Like, you're not going to be, first of all, you're not going to be a Hall of Famer unless you get to the big leagues. And you're not going to be a big leaguer unless you perform. So So I think that there's a lot of steps that you got to focus on before you look up and be like, I want to be this, super famous, this and that and the third. Because the reality of it is that my dad had good timing. He just had good timing.
Same. So did we. Yeah, we liked it too.
Yeah, good timing. That's it. Yeah, but
Now the big questions.
All right, let's get into the fun
Let's
stuff.
do it.
These are the important
Yeah,
ones.
this is really why we're here. So, baseball aside, what else besides baseball are you an expert in?
UFOs.
Let's get into it.
That was a quick one,
Give
too.
me some
UFOs.
specifics.
Matter of fact, I walk in here the other day. I was right there. I walk in here with a few of my teammates. I look up. It's pitch black, right? It's pitch black. So there are these dots at night that go in at a crazy speed, and they're like 70,000 feet high. And reality is that I think that these ones are satellites because they go in a straight line.
Okay.
But a lot of people I know are uneducated because they think that they're airplanes. Airplanes, first of all, listen. Airplanes, the higher that airplanes are, the slower they're gonna look.
Yeah.
When you see something that's zooming so fast that when you look down and you look up, it's in a different spot, that is not an airplane. And also, when it's 80,000 feet high. Now, I've seen satellites, and I've also seen some questionable things. But I don't wanna, put my house on it, but we're not alone. That's all I'm gonna say. We're not alone.
I mean, statistically, it would be more unlikely to be alone than not.
1,000%.
So, yeah.
They don't even know what's in the ocean.
Yeah.
They're staying in the ocean.
Deep sea, scary.
I'll tell you.
UFO. That was the quickest. Everyone else has been like, "What am I?"
Oh,
an
God,
expert
I
in?"
gotta
You were
think
like,
about it.
That was
No, UFOs.
UFOs.
What are the other things you've seen? You said you've seen some other
Okay,
things.
Okay, perfect. So I seen satellites, right? I seen satellites go high. I'm like, oh, that's a satellite. I've been on boats in the Dominican Republic where you have to remember in the Dominican Republic, there's not as much city lights, so you see everything in the sky. So I've seen satellites there on boats where the captains of the boats were like, no, that's a satellite. I've also been on boats in the Dominican Republic where me and multiple other people saw something. There's multiple occasions too. One time in Miami, one time in Dominican, where it looks like a dot, like super high, and it's flying, and it's doing circles, and it's like changing direction. I swear on everything. I mean, listen, I'm not even here to convince nobody. I'm just telling you what I seen because I went inside. I told my mom I saw a UFO, and she told me it was crazy. So I can't really I can't express the things I've seen because some people won't believe it. But it's like I've definitely seen things flying that there's no pilot in there.
To be fair, everyone who discovers something like that is called crazy at first.
1,000%.
Yeah.
I'm delusional. I don't care. I don't care. You know who's delusional? The people that think that there's a human flying those spaceships up there that are going in circles. That's what I think.
Show me the human.
Show me the human.
This is great.
G-force, you know?
All right, big switch of topic.
Mm-hmm.
Give me your most controversial food take.
Controversial food take.
A hot take.
Okay. Oh, got you. So I'm Dominican, so we eat plantain with everything, right?
Love plantain.
But then if I don't have plantain and I have white rice and beans, I'll just cut up a banana and put it in.
Isn't that like wouldn't people get upset with you for that? Because the difference is like,
They'll get upset with you, and then when you tell them to try it, they'll get upset that they never had it before. So they can be upset, they can this and that and the third, but everyone I've ever had try that, loved it.
because I've heard people be like, plantains and bananas completely
Completely
Yeah.
different.
Yeah.
But see, here's where Dominicans are experts in food. The texture aspect. You know why? Avocado, Dominicans eat it with everything. Everything. And avocado with a lot of those seasonings, the texture of it goes perfect with it. Perfect. And it's like that's why, you have avocado with rice, avocado with egg, avocado with toast, and it's all these things that it's like it just goes really well with it. But that doesn't mean that avocado is the only thing that can go with these foods.
Okay.
Banana has a similar texture, and it has a similar texture. Avocado can be like a little softer, but it goes so well. And then the little bit of like the sweetness of the banana, it just changes everything because you have a lot of seasoning flavor from the beans and from and also from the meat. Like there's pollo guisado, there's a whole lot of types of meat that has a lot of sauce, and when you put banana with it,
Okay, so
Yeah.
it's a viable substitute.
I mean that I could switch cultures completely. I could go to just cinnamon raisin bread. That's normal, but like I like cinnamon raisin bread a lot.
Yeah.
And like
That's a great take.
Good take. Yeah.
And-
That's a great take.
controversial part about that is I could eat a cinnamon raisin bread ham and cheese sandwich.
Oh,
I feel,
I'm not
I don't know.
I'm not gonna get on you for that. I've never
Yeah, I don't
tried
know.
it, and I don't. I mean, I love both.
We've had some insane food takes. Like we had Richard Fitz said he likes cookies from Moe's with the queso on it because it happened by accident and he
Queso on
tried it and he was like, "This is good." That I was like, "No." That actually
Richard, he said he liked cookies with cheese.
Yeah,
the queso sauce from Moe's specifically. Yeah, kind
that was
of
a crazy one.
kind of disturbing.
I don't think your ham and cheese take is crazy.
No, I feel like
No,
that's the
no,
word.
because you ever had like a breakfast sandwich with a donut or a waffle or something.
Yeah.
Like it's like the sweetness,
you're
and then I'm huge sweet and like salty type of guy. I like the mixture.
sweet savory.
Yes.
mixture.
Yeah, because
yeah.
when it's too sweet, I get sick of it. When it's too salty, I need water all the time. Sweet and salty.
All right, good one.
I like that take.
last one for you. Have you ever seen The Town?
The Town.
Ben Affleck?
Where they rob
They
Fenway.
robbed Fenway Park.
Yes, I've seen the scene.
Okay.
I've seen the scene.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. The Town, but I've also feel like I've seen the movie. It's been on in my house.
You don't really need to know the movie too well for the question. Like, basically, well, you want to explain
Yeah.
like what the objective is?
So the premise of the question is you're robbing Fenway. You get to pick 3 people in the organization and 1 getaway driver to rob Fenway with you.
Oh my, this is so easy.
Who are you picking and
Guys,
why?
this is so
All right,
easy.
all right,
This
sweet.
is so easy.
Go.
Okay. First guy I'm picking is Brian, the security guy who's at the front door when you walk in the players' lot.
Is that the?
No.
Okay,
Garrett said Jimmy.
Okay,
Garrett said
we
Jimmy at
different.
Fenway.
Okay, second security guard, different one. All right.
So Brian. Number two, I'm picking Kenyatta. He works in the clubhouse. He's been there my whole life. He's like the first one to show up and the last one to leave. Also, Tommy, equipment guy. He shows up like right after Kenyatta and leaves like the latest.
So you're picking based off of dedication here.
I'm picking based on who knows the
Riders.
inside and the out of Fenway, and also
This is outside the box.
Smart.
who knows where things go, where things are put, who locks, who doesn't lock, where the keys go. None of it has to do with like.
This thought process
This
is
is
scary.
so
This is
good,
brilliant.
D'Angelo. This is so
really
good.
This is good. All right, who's the driver?
Oh yeah. who's
Okay.
driving?
So matter of fact, let me go back. So Kenyatta, I'll take Kenyatta. I don't have to take Tommy. My third is just gonna be. My third could be. No, my third will be Tommy. My getaway driver is Brian, who stays in the front of the parking lot.
Okay.
He has all the cars right there. He knows who comes in. He knows what parking spaces are open. I'm probably going. All right, so he's a getaway. What else?
You got 1 more to rob with you.
To rob with me?
Yeah.
Like another person?
Yeah.
I'll probably go. I'm robbing Fenway. My last person is probably gonna be Rafael Devers, because if Rafi's with me and we walk into Fenway, it don't matter what time of the day it is, nobody's gonna question him.
Yeah.
So that's what it is. It might be 1 a.m. that we walk in there. If it's Devers, he's going to get extra work.
Yeah.
Next thing you know, we still home plate. We still second base.
This is so well thought
Yeah.
out. It's
The
kind of
Thought
scary.
process here is phenomenal.
The logic.
It's almost like I've been thinking about robbing Fenway ever since I was 10.
Every other answer has been like, this guy's fast. This guy's sneaky. You're like, no, this guy knows the ins and outs of the
Yeah.
ballpark.
Which is
This
still-
guy
it's a
knows
good
where the
thought
bodies
process,
are.
but
This guy.
Well, it's a different situation with me. I know a lot of the guys that work in the clubhouse and
and they know what you need to know.
You know the underbelly
That's
of
it.
Fenway.
That's it.
Getting around
That's
it.
it. Like these guys know everything about Fenway, and the stadium's changed a lot in the past few years. You know, the clubhouse has changed a lot, but those guys are in every day, so they help me.
That is an awesome answer. D'Angelo, appreciate it, man. Play
Thank you,
Tessie
guys.
debut.
Thank
Love
you,
it.
guys.
Thanks, man.
Thanks so
Thank
much for
you,
coming.
guys.
on
Thanks,
with us.
D'Angelo.
All right, big shout out to D'Angelo Ortiz for jumping on the pod with the fellas. I was about to say Lil Papi. Should his nickname be Lil Papi or Big? Maybe it should just be Lil Papi. What else? What else could it be? Am I
Big
missing something
Padre.
here?
Big Padre.
Isn't that just another way of saying Big Papi?
Yeah.
How tall is he? How tall
I
is
don't know.
DAngelo is 6'1". That might be generous. I feel like he wasn't 6'1".
I think I was taller than him.
Yeah, I was gonna say how tall David is definitely taller.
David, I think, is like 6'4".
David Ortiz is. I've got it. Trust me, it's coming. Height 6'3". Feels like he's bigger than 6'3". I don't trust any
I'd
of this
agree.
shit.
No.
I don't trust athlete heights online. I have less trust in that than pretty much anything.
Yeah. I mean, every year Kevin Durant shrinks an inch, but he's 7'1". Happens every year. I will say, DAngelo, we've talked like when we dropped the Christian Campbell episode, when we dropped the Roman episode, we talked about how like they kind of matured into like the whole media thing. Like off the bat, they were very like I don't want to say stage fright, but they were like very like unopen, like kind of awkward. Not even kind of with DAngelo. Like you could tell he grew up with his dad around the media because we literally just sat down and shot the shit. He was the nicest kid in the world. And it was funny because, Gordon, I don't know if you remember, but we were hanging out by the clubhouse and Rob was like, oh, that's DAngelo. You should go get DAngelo. And we walk up and we have like this, like our like normal spiel. And Rob from like 30 feet behind us just goes, yo, D, they're good.
D.
Yeah. Yo, D, they're good people. And D just goes, all right. We just sat down with us. But no, dude, DAngelo was awesome.
That's the thing with a kid like DAngelo. I mean, he grew up at the ballpark, right? You used to see the pictures of him at Fenway all the time. Media has been a part of his life since probably as early as he can remember. And the media in Boston surrounding the Red Sox during his dad's career, was very up and down. I mean, obviously they won 3 World Series with David Ortiz on the team, but you had a lot of downs too. I mean, you had the chicken and beer scandal, you had the Bobby Valentine era. Like there was some times where the media, like I'm sure David Ortiz would come home from work, maybe not with maybe he didn't always have the highest opinion of the media at times. I mean, it seems like overall most of the media around here and him have a good relationship today, but like these are relationships that have peaks and valleys. I mean, he was in Boston for a long time, and it would not have surprised me one bit if DAngelo was a little bit closed off to the media and maybe had grown like, it's like, I've seen this road before. You say the wrong thing, they take it, run a million miles with it. He didn't know us before the interview. So like, you never know when guys are just going to be jaded and, just couldn't give less of a shit. But like, DAngelo was chill as fuck, man. Like he was a great kid, was down to just like shoot the shit, talk about, what goes on in his mind. Like the UFO conversation, super cool. Like he didn't give the cookie cutter answers for like, okay, this is how I answer this and make sure that it doesn't become a story. No, like this guy was just down to have fun. And like, I really appreciate that because with a guy who grew up with a famous father, like that's not necessarily a guarantee.
Yeah. And I think one thing too is like, for the guys that we've had on like a couple of times, like the Murphs and the Kellys and the Whitlocks and the Bernies, like on like the second, third go around, like that's when they get like super comfortable and they actually like put thought into the answers. Like they joke around, like all
they
that.
Trust you. They like
exactly. Yeah. And there was none of that with DAngelo. Like he was just like laid it all out, had a great time, just shot the shit. And it was awesome. I hope we have him on again at some point because he like even after we wrapped, he was like, oh, when you guys dropped this, he's like, tag me, like I'd appreciate it. It was great talk. Like he's just the nicest kid and he's just like down to earth. And Gordo, like you said, like he has every right to kind of be skeptical of Boston media.
Yeah.
But lucky for him, his dad is on the Mount Rushmore of Boston athletes and he is God when he walks the streets. So yeah, shout out to DAngelo. He was awesome.
That's the thing though, man. Like one thing I really appreciated about him and how he talked, because we didn't necessarily shy away. Like we didn't, like our questions weren't directly asking about his dad, but we didn't avoid the subject of like, hey, like your dad is David Ortiz, and he didn't avoid it either. And like he addressed it head on, like, David Ortiz is my dad, and he had that career, and he's a legend for that. And now here's me. I'm trying to forge my own path and do my own thing and make a name for myself in a way that's not just being his son. So like some people, it's kind of like how some actors get known for one role and don't, like, one thing that I watched, crap. Oh my God. Christopher Walken. This is wild that I'm the one talking about this, but the fucking cowbell thing on SNL, like the needs more cowbell thing. Like he won't even talk about that shit. Like he didn't go in the documentary on SNL to do, like, guys just like they I don't know. I don't know why I'm necessarily comparing that to the D'Angelo situation, but it's like he could easily just be so sick of like everyone asking him about his dad. But like, no, he's like, that's cool as fuck. Like I love what he did, and like it's been awesome, but at the same time, I am gonna try to forge my own path here.
Yeah, and kind of like you were saying with Christopher Walken, is like Jason Alexander, the guy who played George Costanza on Seinfeld. Like he like couldn't get a job after Seinfeld because people just thought he was George Costanza. And like D'Angelo, like you kind of have to break the Papi's son. Like you have to kind of make a name for yourself. And after I don't want to call it success, like like George Costanza, but it's once you're nationally and immediately recognized for one thing, it's hard to kind of build a name for yourself.
Right.
But shout out to D'Angelo because he's hitting over 300 in the FCL and he's doing great.
Yeah, mid 800s OPS, like maybe potential promotion at some point this summer. Like we'll see. But there hopefully will be a round 2 and more with D'Angelo, whether it be at spring training next year, I don't know. Like we'll see when we cross paths with him again, but definitely a guy that we want to have back on the pod again. Dude is, again, chill as fuck. Loved the kid and rooting for nothing but success for him. And again, it just goes far beyond him being David Ortiz's kid. Like he's just an all around awesome kid. And I'm just excited to see what he does in Major League or in Major League Baseball moving forward, man. Like I'm glad he's a part of the Red Sox organization. Again, it's not like he's a quality player, and it's not just because his dad is David Ortiz that he is here. He's having success, and a lot of kids that get drafted when they become pros instantly, like you'll see, oh, Pat, who's the guy who the Red Sox had that ended up going to the NFL? Oh, you see the pictures.
Felipe Frank.
The name doesn't ring a bell. I don't know. I'm not going to be able to.
No. Shaq Thompson.
Yeah, him. Look up his minor league stats. Like Shaq Thompson.
Dude, they're bad. They are the worst. You think Trevor Story's bad? Look at Shaq Thompson's minor league stats.
All right, I'm going to pull it up real quick because like Shaq Thompson is a perfect example of a guy where it's like, okay, he entered minor league baseball and it became very evident that he was not going to play baseball. All right, here we go. I've got it up. He played in rookie ball in the Gulf Coast League. He played 13 games. He had 47 plate appearances, 39 at-bats. He did not get a hit. 39 at-bats, 0 for 39 with 37 strikeouts.
Yeah.
That is a guy who cannot play minor league baseball. DAngelo Ortiz hitting in the 300s with a mid 800s OPS. That guy can play baseball, and we're going to see where that kid's career goes and rooting for nothing but success. He's not just David Ortiz's kid. He's his own man, and we're excited. Friend of the program now, Play Tessie friend of the program. We are excited to see where he goes. Anything else before we wrap this thing up, Pat?
Nothing.
All right, man. That's going to do it for episode 217. Big shout out to DAngelo Ortiz for jumping on with the fellas here. We appreciate you guys tuning in and listening. Remember, hit that subscribe button wherever you get your podcasts and rate 5 stars. And then subscribe to the WEI YouTube channel where you can find the Play Tessie playlist, which has all of our episodes. And you can hit the thumbs up on those videos, which helps us out a ton. Find us on the socials at Play Tessie on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. Make sure to follow there. Really appreciate it. And there's tons of good content coming out all the time on those platforms. So again, big shout out for DAngelo Ortiz for jumping on with the fellas. That's going to do it for episode 217 of Play Tessie. Thanks for tuning in to this one, everyone. Peace.